Rundown Thursday, May 9th, brought to you by Pink Whitney. Head over to your local bar and make sure to order some Pink Whitney. Exceptionally smooth, great-tasting vodka with notes of refreshing lemon. Pink Whitney is the #1 flavored vodka, and now they have 1.75-liter bottles. More of the Pink Whitney we know and love. Great for parties and sharing with friends. Take a shot of Pink Whitney. Take your shot of Pink Whitney. All right, Knicks-Pacers theme on the rundown. That's going to open the stories. Knicks win 130-121. Jalen Brunson with a Willis Reed moment on the anniversary of the Willis Reed game. Man's a dog. Lot of stuff out of the game. Some missed calls. We can get to Carlisle. Josh Hart apologizes, which he shouldn't apologize. I mean, he was laughing about it.
It wasn't an apology. He actually apologized for it?
I'm sorry. But it wasn't like.
I thought he apologized for that. Yeah. So for those unfamiliar, we didn't have the volume up as much, so we didn't catch it live. But he walks over to Reggie Miller. He's like, they said, fuck you. They're saying, fuck you. This is Reggie Miller. He's got a smile like this wide.
Make sure you heard it.
As much as I don't like Reggie Miller, it ruined my communion. I was at that game with the 8 points in 9 seconds as a little kid. But he does play the villain pretty well. Like, he's hamming it up. He's laughing about it. Like,
history has been great for Reggie Miller. Like,
yeah.
He wasn't that dominant.
What's his record in the Garden? We looked it up last night.
7-28, which is horrible.
I think it was 7-27.
7-27.
And then even in the run, like they played in the playoffs 3 times, and the series was 3-3.
Yeah.
But people from Indiana
6 times.
Like I grew up,
6 times. Yeah, 3-piece.
People from Indiana support Reggie. They support the Pacers. But like growing up in Indiana, we didn't like love Reggie Miller. Like he wasn't cool. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be Reggie. Like we all want to be Michael Jordan still.
Right.
Like, Reggie was just like. Yeah, our guy, we supported him, but we didn't want to be Reggie, you know?
Right. I mean, I think he would, you talk about guys who would like dominate in this style of the NBA. Reggie Miller would have a field day nowadays.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
where threes were encouraged.
For sure.
He would kill it. But I think he's playing the villain up well. Josh Hart had a great moment, with that. Thought that was very funny. Rick Kyler upset with officiating after the game. Small market teams deserve an equal shot. This is kind of a bitch thing. It says in game 1 there were 29 plays that they thought went the wrong way, but neglected to submit complaints to the league office. Kyler was especially upset last night. He gets ejected. Halliburton being pushed in the back by Josh Hart. We said live that should have been a foul.
No, we didn't. You said that.
Yeah, it should have been a foul. So
we looked at it after, and he got sandwiched.
No, I'm talking about the play.
I know the play you're talking about.
Where Hart's like shoving.
Yeah, but then
he
kind of got like
as he's going down the court.
But the
big guy was kind of in front of him, so he kind of ended up getting like
the Tyrese. Yeah, we got sandwiched. That was
no. Now you're talking about the rebound.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the play running down the court. Remember we were like Vibs. Had that one. Yeah. He absolutely shoved them.
They're going after their back.
Absolutely shoved them.
His injured back.
So the Pacers have submitted complaints about 78 different calls between games 1 and 2 to the league office.
Yeah, I'll let you on the Knicks go first.
I was gonna leave off saying I respect Vibs taking the road that shut up, don't complain. I respect that because it's just such a thing where like it's brutal when you're on like either side of it because like when you're on the side where everyone's saying you're getting the calls, like it's like yeah fuck you, or I like to say it the other way, like when you're the one like when you feel like you're getting slighted on the calls, literally like no one gives a fuck.
Right.
But then it's kind of annoying with this Knicks thing. We're feeling like I understand it's like we're the brash fan base. We've been running our mouths. We're good for the first time like ever. It feels like so. And I guess when I'm in it as a Knicks fan, it feels like everyone's like no, like fuck you. You're getting all the calls, blah blah blah. But I mean, it's just such like a soft move to like the Knicks dominated the second half. Like, say what you want about officiating. They dominated the second half. That is why they won. And I respect Halliburton. Got on the mic after was like, that. Like, officiating is not why we lost. Well, we got outplayed. And I respect them taking that high road. And Vibs, I respect you taking that.
That's what Rick Carlisle did after game 1. Rick Carlisle got on the mic and was like, yeah, the refs sucked, but that's not why we lost. Like, I don't even think he said they sucked. But he's like, that's not why we lost. We need to close out games. 100%. But then after game 2, Rick Carlisle wants to get on the mic and be like, well, the refs cost us the game.
Well, I think
conspiracy theory against small market teams. Like the
small market thing is bullshit. But to Carlisle's point, though,
you've got to
if it's only getting worse, I think you do have to stop. It was 29 in game 1. Now it gets to 78 of what they say. 78 missed calls. You got to say something.
Yeah, you got to protect your team.
No, but that's just what they're saying. Like that's not like
right.
They submitted that they missed 49 calls in game 2. Like, come on, man. Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking? They missed 49 calls. You tell me that obviously there was some that you could have went the other way as well. Like I just think that's just an obscene number to submit. Like it just sounds ridiculous. That sounds like a skit.
Yeah.
78 calls over 2 games.
I mean,
Come
you're
on,
just
man.
submitting the entire game.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Here's
come
the
on,
entire
man.
game tape. Here you go.
Like, what? They missed 78 calls out of 100.
I will say.
Like, I mean, what?
You can't say Jalen Brunson is disrespected when he gets a superstar whistle. Like he gets calls. Like
Oh no, I say
the refs.
I always say disrespected by like the general public. Like when they talk about other players, it just feels like they'll always take that guy over.
Yeah, I feel like going into this
He gets a good whistle.
before this season, like if I understand people not really knowing like a Tyrese Maxey or a Jalen Brunson, but now after what they've done
Right.
this season, like they're up there in those conversations with like real great players.
What'd you think about McConnell being left on the bench?
I mean, that's my problem with Rick. Like Rick
Yeah.
wants to bitch about fouls, and it's like you left McConnell on the bench. Like
Plus
Pascal
night-
Siakam,
yeah.
the guy who's supposed to be your number 1, number 2 player, did nothing last night. He was a ghost. He didn't show up. And he has a ring. He's been to a championship. Like, what the fuck are you doing, Pascal? You want a max fucking contract? Fuck you.
Plus 19 when he was on the court, minus 32 with him off.
Unreal. But yeah, like TJ
Mix the
McConnell.
lineups.
Like, what is Rick saving TJ McConnell for? Like the Eastern Conference Finals? Are we going to the Eastern Conference Finals, Rick? Is that what you're saving him for?
Even-
Like, he should be playing. I don't care. Yeah.
Even like I feel like there was a shot kind of towards the end of the game where they show him on the bench, and you could just see like the visible frustration that he's just on the bench.
He's like, I was gonna say he's like our Josh Hart. Like TJ McConnell doesn't need to rest. Like he will go all game. He has a 5th gear that he clicks into and goes.
Whose minutes? Do you want him taking Nemhard's minutes? Whose minute? Nemhard's minutes?
Nimby's, yeah, because Nimby, he's been good, but like you look at him, watch him guarding like Brunson, and he's so like, it's not that he's a bad defender. It's just like if you play Brunson too hard, he's gonna draw the foul. He's gonna go right past you. He can hit a 3. Like Brunson's just that good. So like Nimby has done a good job, but and I'm not saying TJ McConnell can stop Brunson, but TJ McConnell can kind of pester him and get in his mouth, and it's
Yep.
just like pause. But it's like TJ McConnell being on the bench. He was your best player last night, and he's just on the bench for the last 7 minutes of the 4th quarter.
Did you see Shannon Sharp's tweet?
No.
Very funny. Yeah, it was like take Nemhard, keep TJ in the game. All Brunson see what Nemhard on his oxtails, mac and cheese, collard greens, cornbread.
Jesus Christ.
That's like Sunday dinner.
Sunday dinner. All right, I was waiting to get to the punchline.
So funny.
That's crazy.
Just,
Yeah, he was cooking
fresh
them.
barbecue.
He was cooking them. Yeah, I mean, you got to put McConnell in. So now backs up against the wall. Knicks just have to split, really,
Yeah.
in Indy. But again, OG goes down. Like, I'm hearing.
And they're saying not good.
No, I'm hearing like 99%
sitting-
out for
probably
game
sitting
3.
game 3, yeah, which
Yeah,
is bad.
but we don't know about the series. I knew he was going to sit game. I would estimate he would sit game 3.
me, it
But we
was-
got nobody left now.
He was
nobody.
when he was out of the game for literally like 3 minutes in real, like not like game time, like it felt like 3-4 minutes, and they were like, he's not come back in the game.
Right.
The second it was like that quick, I was like, oh, that's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't look
When you're
good.
announcing him out, when there was like 9 minutes left in the game, so there's a lot of time left, and they're saying, oh, like he's done. I was
But
like,
he's got size. He plays defense. Like now, I don't. The
score,
lineup
like,
now.
dude, he kept us afloat.
Yes.
When Brunson was out, he
out,
saved
he
you.
like
Yeah.
he literally
He's a good
kept the game,
3-point
like,
shooter.
within reach.
Agreed. Yeah.
Every 3 he puts up, here's like that's it. I don't know if he missed a shot.
No, he's
Like, he's so
It was
good.
phenomenal. That might have been like his best game as a Knick last night.
Yes.
That was what pissed me off about Knicks fans being like, oh, we got rid of R.J. Barrett. Like, we're so stupid. It's like, OG is a stud. Like, that's how you knew some Knicks fans didn't know ball when they were upset about OG coming in.
Yeah. Playoff games tonight, Cavs, Celtics. I got to be honest, I think the Cavs Celtics series is like just background noise. I'm
Yes,
watching it,
that's
but it's
100%.
true background noise. The Celtics, get it done with, get to the Eastern Conference Finals where you're supposed to go, and then let's go from there. This is an absolute waste of time. Anything if it goes more than even 4. On the other hand, though, Mavs Thunder is a great series. I know the Thunder kind of beat them up in game 1. Would not surprise me if the Mavs win tonight, but the Thunder has a great home court advantage. The young guns in the West are a lot of fun. I mean, you're potentially looking at a Timberwolves Thunder conference finals. Like, what the fuck is that?
And think that could
Right.
be. I mean, it could be like potentially. We could see a lot of that going forward,
Oh yeah,
which that would be fucking incredible. I mean, it's funny. We talked about a pick central where it's like the 2 teams that come into the playoffs. People thought, oh, maybe like they obviously had great regular seasons, but they might be like, like a year or 2 away from getting over the hump. And like here we are. Obviously, the Mavs series, a lot of game left. Only 1 game in, so that series could turn tonight. We'll see, but decent chance that we see like the 2 like young teams. I think good chance one of them's in the finals.
Thunder, the better team. Mavs, the bigger superstars.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
That's what I would say as well.
I think that's an accurate way to describe it. Jokic wins his third MVP in a landslide. Jokic has won 3 MVPs in the last 4 seasons. Now, me and Ev talked to Gilbert Arenas out in Arizona, and he had the idea that they didn't want to give Jokic his third in a row that early, right? Yeah, because it would be like, well, so few guys have won 3 MVPs. So it's a very, very minimal list. So to give him 3 that early, like, it would have made him the worst 3-time NBA winner. Like, look at that list. It's Jabbar, Jordan, James, Russell, Bird, Chamberlain, Magic, and then at Moses, and then Jokic. Jokic finally got on the list. Jokic should be ahead of Larry Bird. Then you're putting Jokic ahead of Larry Bird, Will Chamberlain, Magic Johnson. Like, so it's revisionist history. So, like, but we were getting upset about it, or not upset about it, but we were like, that's bullshit. Just because you fuck up, don't just change it now. The guy deserves to win. He deserves to win. Like, the fact that Bird only won 3, I don't know if Bird should have won more. But it seems like they fucked up some of them.
Jokic is so good, but does it matter that he's on like the best team? He has the best guys around.
I think they're the best.
Because of him?
I think it's because of him. Like, I think you take them off that team, and they are just like I don't know.
They're okay.
I think they're like. I think they're I don't even know if they're like a playoff team without him in
Right.
the West. The West is a gauntlet.
Yeah,
very hard.
Like, you think about how close that like the Lakers series, they were like the 7th seed. You think they beat the Lakers without Jokic? I don't think so.
Right. Yeah. Like Murray's fine, but
he's good. Like Murray's
not doing
very good.
anything
He's
without
clutch.
Jokic. Yeah.
But I think Jokic also the way not even just the scoring, the rebounding, the facilitating, he makes everyone better. I think you take that off the team, they go from like the 2 seed to legit like 9 seed.
Yeah.
You take SGA off the Thunder. What do they do? Like, are they?
They're still really good.
They're
but
good. They're obviously still take a massive hit, but they're definitely.
I think Jokic means more to his team.
Agreed.
Speaking of SGA, Shaq had a really honest quote. The TNT guys are great. That's why this whole rights deal is going to be interesting if nobody gobbles up these guys. But Shaq was authentic. He tells Jokic to his face, he's like, I voted for SGA. He should have won the MVP.
These guys.
What?
Gobbles up these guys. We're getting crazy.
What do you mean?
If someone gobbles up these guys, our verbiage is just.
The TNT broadcast is great. Well, the game sucks.
I knew those bosses would get upset.
I mean, you're out on the market. You gobbled up.
Little pause.
Little glaze. Yeah.
All right.
Gobbles them up.
Gobbles up these guys.
All right. I guess I got to say pause. Whatever. You're the best player in the league. I want to congratulate you, but I want you to hear it from me first. I thought SGA should have been the MVP. That's no disrespect to you. I think Jokic was like, yeah, there's a lot of guys who deserve MVP. He kind of brushed it off. But I respect Shaq being honest about it. He didn't just go up there and glaze them, like rightfully so. They say what they want. So
yeah, I don't know. It's like whenever if you're a stand-up comedian, and someone comes up to you after the show and they're like, "Hey, I didn't think you were funny at all, but my wife likes you a lot." It's like, why do you even say? Why say it?
No, I think it's different. I think he's acknowledging how good he was. I think the better comparison to that was you go to a comedian show and you're like, "Yeah, it wasn't as good as when I saw blank last week." You get what I'm saying? He's still acknowledging the guy's good. He just thought somebody was better.
Yeah.
I think this was more. It was more because they were talking about it before he came on, and Shaq had gave his opinion, so he didn't want to be like, I literally just said like when you weren't on the weren't on the screen,
right.
that he should have won the MVP, and then now I'm like sucking your dick.
Yeah, they don't try to hide anything.
I think he just. I think they've obviously spoken before. They have some sort of relationship, and he was like, I just wanted to let you know, like I said this. I thought,
I think
no discredit to the player you are, and this and that. We're splitting hairs, but that was like his opinion.
Yeah, I think that's what makes the TNT broadcast so great is that Shaq and Kenny and Chuck aren't afraid to say whatever.
Well, I've told this story. I read Kenny's book, and somebody came in for like a guest spot, and they were like, all right, if you take this side, I'll take this side. And Kenny was like, yo, you believe this shit? This guy thinks this stuff's planned. They are authentic and take pride in the fact that whatever opinion you have, you either agree with me or you don't. We're not doing the good cop, bad cop type shit.
Yeah.
So they are tried and true with that. So I give them a lot of credit. NHL Playoffs, there was a fucking brawl last night.
They were like,
Panthers rout the Bruins 6-1. Series tied 1-1.
There were like 8 fights within 3 minutes.
Pasta fights. Kachuk gets his ass kicked, but then Ev is really mad because he jumps on top of him.
So
but Kachuk took it. I can't keep track. Kachuk took a cheap shot. He was on all fours.
Yeah, in real time, I didn't like the fact that like obviously I don't know like the hockey etiquette, but I thought how do you say the guy's name? Kachuk. He beat the shit out of the Pasa. Beat the shit out of him, like knocked him down. And then I had no problem with like the punch. I guess like it's not in hockey culture. Like he basically already had him hurt bad, like one. He kind of jumped and threw like an extra one on top, which I don't know the hockey code, so I respect that, I understand that. But I just thought it was such a pussy move that Pasta like got his ass kicked. And then like kind of like this guy, Kachuk was beating the shit out of him so badly that the two refs had to like literally jump on top of him, and he literally had two refs like fully their whole body weight on top of it, pinned him on the ground, and then Pasta starts like throwing in like little like punches after, and I was like, dude, you just got destroyed. Like, why are you now, like, two guys are literally laying on top of this guy. Now you're throwing punches. So that, to me, just rubbed me the wrong way. I was like, you're getting ass kicked on the scoreboard. You're getting your ass kicked in a real fight. Like, now you're throwing little rabbit punches in after, like, these two guys are holding him down. But I will take a step back. I don't know the hockey code, so I understand the, like, Kachuk maybe there was, like, one extra punch.
Seems like everybody was dirty in this fight.
Maybe one extra punch shouldn't have got thrown. So
yeah. I
will take a step back, and I will hear that and understand that. But
tonight,
I just thought it was
you got Game 3, Rangers up 2-0. If you have to lose a series, or you have to lose a game this playoffs, going to the Hurricanes, Avalanche Stars, I'm sweating this one out. I got the Stars to win the Cup. They blew a 3-goal lead in Game 1, up 3-0 in the first period, too. Edmonton loses last night in a wild one.
Crazy.
Oilers up 4-1. Late in the second period, Canucks score 4 straight goals in regulation.
Dude, it was crazy because I obviously don't bet a ton of hockey. I just have a Rangers future just to have like some skin in the game for the playoffs.
I got the Rangers too.
But last night I get into the stream, like the Oilers game was starting. And Jack Mike was like, oh, like I'm on, like I was like, anyone like anything? Jack said like the Oilers. So jumped on the Oilers, and I'm like, get back last night. I'm sitting in bed, I'm like, oh, 4-1, like let's fucking go, like easy work. Then all of a sudden I just start seeing on Twitter like, oh, like this comeback. I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, nuts.
Then all in 2 seconds they're just losing 5-4. It was they scored all 4 in the third period. They scored one. It was 4-2. So yeah, so 3 unanswered.
Yeah, it was 4-2 going into the
3
third.
in the third period. I mean, I was like,
I was driving home with security
shit.
Dan, and he had a parlay, and he needed that. He had the over 6.5, and then he needed Edmonton minus the 1.5. So he didn't make it.
That was brutal.
I have a question for you, New York fans. Rangers are good, Yankees are good, Knicks are good. What's been a year with the teams being the best? Like, what's been the best season for all the teams? Like, has there ever been a time when they've all been good?
Well, I guess
is this the best time ever to be a New York fan?
Well, I guess technically in '94, like that was when the Rangers won the Cup and the Knicks were in the finals.
But that baseball got canceled.
I was before I was born.
Baseball got
canceled. Right.
I was born like 4 months later.
Is this the best time for you? Is this the best?
Right now, it's the best spring. It's the best spring I can remember in a long time. And I'm not a Yankee fan, but it's an unbelievable spring with the Knicks and the Rangers.
And I'm like, I'm not any hockey fan. I'm not a Rangers fan. I literally just put a future on them. I could have easily put it on anyone else.
Yeah.
Well, it's cool. It's cool. Like,
I root for the Rangers. I would support them. I want them to win. Not even like money aside. I would just want the Rangers to win over anyone else.
You got to remember the time of the year too. Like springtime, people want to go out. People want to spend money. People want to hang out, watch games at bars. Like if the Rangers are good, now you got a playoff game to watch. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it's an awesome type. Yeah. And the way they do it, because of obviously the courts and shit like that, the Knicks and Rangers are alternating nights.
It's
really
going
like 4 in a row. I mean, we were joking about it with Gaz. I was like, this is like awesome. Like, is this what spring is like? He's like, yeah, we've been doing this for like 20 years because he was an elitist Boston fan, but with the Bruins and Celtics. But like, this is an awesome run. The Knicks and Rangers both making runs. You got something to watch every night, and it means something. You're talking about it like it's you're sweating it out. The games mean so much more. Everybody wants to go out. Everybody wants to watch. It's a social event.
Yeah, the weather being nice is so clutch with that.
Yep.
Like March Madness is my favorite event. Like I love it. But like the weather's always like a tease. Like sometimes it'll be warm, but then there's times where it's like 40 degrees and pouring rain, and it's just the worst. So yeah, this time with NBA and with hockey, it's incredible.
Well, and that there's a chance we might get like a double New York Boston potentially.
Yeah.
Right.
That's like very much on the table right now.
I-95.
It's be nuts.
Jerry Seinfeld says Howard Stern has no comedic chop, immediately backpedals. Seinfeld, 7 years old, went on David Harvey and David Spade's Fly on the Wall podcast and said Howard is interesting. Howard is a great interviewer, but comedy chops. I mean, can we speak candidly? He said he was outflanked. Then he immediately backtracks. I said outflanked, and it sounded terrible and insulting. Of course, none of these things show
And these little shows.
None of these little shows are any threat to his giant show. Howie, I still love you. Please forgive me. I don't know. I don't think Howard Stern for the last 10 years has been that funny. He's a great interviewer. He gets people. He asks the right questions. He knows how to do things. It looks like with a lot of not even prep. It doesn't look like he even has a sheet of questions that he asks people. It looks like he does it right off the top of his head. And I do like listening to his interviews, especially the town hall with Billy Joel, and he's had a variety of different people on that I like.
But when you've been doing it for
but he's not,
30
he's not
plus
funny
years, I get that. But he's like, every comedian's gets past their prime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you've been doing it for so long, it's like you can't.
Would you ever consider him a comedian? Howard Stern? I wouldn't consider him a comedian.
That's hard. Yeah, I
mean, he was a shock jock, and then he did a lot of things that were outlandish,
right.
Had,
but putting on funny segments is that
yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't call him a stand-up comedian, but I'd say he's a comedic mind.
Yeah.
But he's not. Yeah,
he's in the comedic realm.
Comedians can be different things. You don't have to be a stand-up comedian.
He's in the comedic realm.
But yeah, I would.
And his show was always built on comedy, having Artie Lang all the time and like Beetlejuice and shit like that. He definitely was trying to be.
He's
funny.
got a lot of problematic shit in his past too.
Yeah.
Stern, that a lot of people don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
And he wants to be
Goldberg
out
stuff.
in front of stuff. Yeah, it's a million different things.
But also Seinfeld,
Seinfeld
I think it was back in 2014. He was already starting to be like, oh, you can't go to college campuses and do comedy anymore because they're all so offended. And it's like, what are you saying to a crowd?
Right.
You're the cleanest comedian of all time. What are you doing? So he's been on his old man yelling at fucking cloud shit for a while. So I mean, you could say Jerry Seinfeld's lost his.
I agree. I mean, based off of this movie.
Larry David was the one that.
I haven't watched it, but everyone's saying
it.
that the new movie, is it on Netflix? What's
Yeah.
it?
I'm going to be.
Everyone's saying.
Horrible.
And Chase said it was good, but
It's
everyone's saying it's
that
the
should
worst
tell you, that should
movie
tell you
they've ever
something.
seen.
I watched the first 10 minutes of it before I fell asleep, but knowing it's Seinfeld, I didn't hate it. I don't mind his pacing and his flow. I like Jerry, but it's just your fastball was in the 90s.
Right.
Don't throw stones at fucking Howard Stern.
Billionaire tries to bully girl with same name into buying Instagram handle. A girl who married into a billionaire family named Catherine, definitely gonna say that wrong, Ass Plunch, as Blonde, attempted to purchase Instagram handle Catherine Ass Plunch from its owner. The Catherine Ass Plunch is now private.
Ass Plunch.
We're just gonna say Ass
Plunch.
We're gonna say Ass Plunch. We're gonna get some headlines. We're gonna say Ass Plunch. Apologies to the Ass Plunch family or Ad Plunch family. She does not have a profile picture and has a total of 7 posts. The girl declined to sell, saying that she likes to use her account for private stories, and Instagram says selling accounts is illegal. Didn't even try to negotiate. Billionaire girl proceeded to try to lose her shit. Threatened. Ass Plunch get her kicked off Instagram. Tried to claim Ass Plunch wasn't a real name. Asked for proof of identity. The whole thing. So who's crazier, the rich woman or the not rich girl for selling the account?
I'm assuming did you see the actual screenshots?
I didn't see the screenshots.
Are you aware of I saw them.
Do we? Sorry, do we know how much money it was that she offered her?
Well, no, she never.
She never got to.
I think that's the crazy part, that she never at least was like,
"You're a billionaire."
What are we? I don't know if she's supposed. The other girl, how is she supposed to know that? So that's the part where I give her a little.
Well, I mean,
how the fuck is she supposed to know the girl's a billionaire? But anyone that's saying money, or she did say I married this. Well, she just said married. She didn't say married into money. She just said my new name. So the marriage, the name change.
Right.
How is she supposed to know she has
billions
the
and
person
billions.
has all this money? But I think
scout your opponents.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
scout who you're dealing with.
but I'd say I would say,
Quick
hey,
Google search.
How much money are we talking? I mean, a Google search is always just gonna say how much money you have.
It could net worth. What the guy does.
He's the
He's the CEO of something.
10,000 followers, so she was pretty fine.
I think it said Dr. Oz is a part of this the Ass Plunch family.
Yeah, the Ass Plunch family. But the fact that she just was right away taking the high ground of selling my account's illegal. To Ev's, find out how much you're dealing with.
Yeah,
you didn't even know. Who's to say she wouldn't say 50 grand, 100 grand?
There's something about it that I kind of respect. It's just funny that she just immediately was like, no, we could get banned from Instagram. I'm not she's gonna
That's
they're gonna
illegal.
throw her in jail and throw away the key.
Yeah.
If she sells her Instagram account.
Yeah.
But also there is on the other end too. There's something funny to me about just a girl that's came from this life that just gets everything she wants.
Yep.
That this girl's just fuck you, I can't be bought. You can't have this handle.
Yeah.
Also, like you have
that's
no.
kind of funny that she has
You have,
like.
what did she
all right,
have? 7 posts.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you barely use
That's also-
Instagram.
that's what
Like
makes it funnier.
make the money, dude.
Like she doesn't even care. Like she just
Like the rich lady is crazy, but the girl, I'm on her side.
And she
My
also has
account,
a- she
I'm
also
willing to pay
apparently-
you.
She also apparently changed her name like 3 times. The girl who has the handle. So like she's changed her Instagram name multiple times.
that makes it even funnier.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
she's just a lunatic, which is hilarious.
I love how this girl though, the non-rich girl is like, you can report me. I just did, and my fiance did too. You're asking them to do something to get my account banned. I doubt Instagram would take that lightly. I love it. Instagram's like it's the fucking Gestapo.
So good.
It's unbelievable.
I would get rid of my account so fast if this was me. Like I'd be like, yeah, absolutely. Like I would if a company came to me and was like, hey, you're about to have a kid. Like if you name your kid after our brand, we'll pay you $1 million.
Yeah.
I would do that.
Well, this is a fucking great line here. So the rich lady goes, I'm asking you to change your username because you're pretending to be someone you're not. My name is Catherine. She goes,
yeah.
No,
And the rich girl goes, which is illegal. You just became Catherine Assplunch like 4 seconds ago.
yeah.
So like, who are you pretending to be? I don't know. The whole thing is chaos.
I just
Also, it is kind of funny they're fighting over the Assplunch name. Like, who knew the Assplunch had such a fucking
It's a good name.
everyone wants to be asked.
high demand? Everybody wants to be an Assplunch. It's crazy. After show, playoff streams coming up. We'll be here Friday night.
tomorrow night.
Skipping Sunday, and then 5, 6, and 7 if it goes that way. So Viv, you better step it up if you want more streams.
Pacers are 8-0 in the playoffs at home.
Okay.
Is that a real stat?
No, I don't think it
no,
would be.
that wouldn't be.
Because
it.
you only played
They're
one
8-0
series.
They're like 8-0 in the last I don't know. They're really
We've only
good.
played one series, so I'm going to challenge you on that.
Yeah, they're really good at home as of late.
And they didn't have home court in that series.
Yes,
They couldn't even-
8-0 in the playoffs.
I caught on to that. Normally I'd just be like, whoa, wow, really?
Yeah.
I'd reference it.
No,
He tried to set me up with a bad stat again.
I think it's
Only
like
played 3 home games.
Yeah, I think it was like down the stretch. They're like 8-0. They haven't lost a home game in a while.
Yeah.
So, look, the Pacers it's saying must win is cliche, but this is a must. Like you can't drop them at home. It's not a series until the home team loses.
I respect the Pacers home court. The fans will show out.
I did have 2 quick blogs, like your opinions on it. I know I showed this to Vibs. Ev, did you hear any of this audio from Joe Beningo?
I did it.
When he left this audio
I like
on,
saw
he's
the
fighting
story.
with his cat?
I saw the story, but I didn't actually see. I didn't watch the clip.
It's unreal.
I saw the headline.
He's going, come on, baby. God damn it, he's fighting. It's just an old man, and then you would think he would
Like when
edit
he's
it
fighting
out.
with his wife.
No, I think the wife then gets involved, but he's yelling at his cat. It's unreal. And then the other one, it's long, so but you just hear him complaining. It's very funny. But then the other one today was that New York's next hottest burger is being served out of a gas station. You know the gas station down on 8th?
No.
no.
Yeah,
No.
it's like one of the only gas stations below 14th. It's called, what is it called? Smackin' Burger?
I do know what you're talking about.
It's literally, it shows like Smackin' Burger, and then it says like mobile $3.49 for gas.
It's a chain, but I think 7th
Yeah, wait till you'll see it right here.
7th Street Burger's the best
That's
burger.
very,
I've had.
It is, but look, it's a legit gas
I do
station.
know this gas station, yeah.
Crazy. Now, I said, do not think that I will shame this people for eating here, because I think hole in the wall places or joints as I describe them, like like Corner Bistro. They haven't changed those tables in fucking 60 years.
This is
and
very,
that's part of the ordeal. You know what I mean? That's what you like.
It's very
But-
southern of us.
Yes, but I had a little bit of a concern here. The smell. Gas, the smell is very prevalent.
Oh,
And it's a working gas station. It's not just like they converted it to a gas station.
huff a little bit of gas, eat a burger. That sounds like a fucking
Have
great
little
night.
character.
And then I
There's
was
that much gas just flowing around in New York City.
Yeah, makes sense. And then I looked at the staff. I know they separate the staff. They have a gas station staff and they have a burger staff. But who's to say that the guy doesn't go pump it and then he gets a little bit of gas on his food? He's handling your meat. Pause. Now you got gas in your food. You're ingesting it. I don't know. There was a little bit of concern. But if it comes down to it, would you try it or would you not? I am trying it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying it.
When I was in high school, I was dating this girl, and we were gonna go try this new pizza place with my family. We show up, it's attached to a gas station, it's in a gas station. My family was like, "No, we're not eating here," and I was like, "That's the most pretentious thing ever." Why not? What makes it bad? I'd eat food from a gas station.
Right.
I just had a gas station hot dog yesterday. It's not bad. In the stigma that gas stations are bad. I'd eat sushi from a gas station. I don't care.
Yeah.
Best fried chicken I ever had was gas station.
Gas station fried
Really?
chicken.
They say down,
thumbs up.
down south, like you'll get your best food there. You'll get a nice hot plate at a.
Yeah, I mean, they have
Gas
Sheets.
station.
They like when I was taking the bus to Chicago, we stopped at a Sheets. People getting sandwiches. That is a gas station.
Sheets,
Now
Wawa.
it's
But,
different
Like,
because
but
it's
Wawa,
inside.
this is more like we're talking true. These are like mom and pop
Right,
type
right, right, right,
operations.
right.
We're not talking
Exactly.
chains.
Yeah.
Like Wawa, I think is great, but
Right. So,
it's different down there.
but all right, that's the rundown. We'll catch you Monday.